time for you to know and for us to start our show. Have a drink and take a seat here on Brewsic and Boozies.
Smell the candle. Are we recording? Is it happening? Smells like my phone. Welcome back to Brewsic and Boozies.
Oh, I see what you did
like
there.
that?
You've been waiting all day to say that. I know you have.
I couldn't wait to say it. I was so excited to say it.
So funny. That was good. I like it.
It was. I know. I honestly thought you were gonna say it when you were all
I'm
all brew.
I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out at dad jokes.
Yes, after I don't know, what did we take, like a month? We had like a month-long hiatus.
A little bit, yeah.
Little
everything's good.
hiatus.
It's just busy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, busy, but we're back.
I'm glad.
Halloween.
I'm okay because September is kind of a weird month where it's like we could talk about whatever that comes to mind. But I was so excited for October movies because it's all Halloween stuff, and we have so many family favorite Halloween movies to do. So,
like what we're talking about
really,
today.
really excited to do that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah.
I hope the audio comes out okay. I don't know because I'm a little bit further away from the mic than usual, but I turned up the
hear
volume.
You loud and clear. And are we recording? Because I can't see the little light on my phone.
Yes,
okay.
I see it in mine. Yeah.
Yeah, we took a month-long hiatus, and our tech is. Yeah. We need to check it over and over again.
We both need to lose weight for the camera too, so we're looking better now.
Yes, that was why we took a month off. But yeah, we're back for, this is my favorite time of year. I love Halloween. I love horror. I love Halloween. I don't love fall, but I love Halloween, so I'll suffer through fall. But yeah, I love it. Do you love Halloween? I don't know how.
Now,
I know you love to dress up for Halloween.
Not as a kid. As a little kid, yes. When I got in my late elementary school, no, I was over it. And then I didn't like. All right, me as a purist, I didn't get the whole killing and slashing and dark and craziness of Halloween. It wasn't my thing. But I remember as a little kid really loving it. Yeah, like it was fun. But then when I was older, we did costumes for high school, and that just threw me in a whole new Halloween direction and how much I loved Halloween after that minute. And it's been my favorite. Probably it's jumped a lot since me liking it in the past. I didn't go trick-or-treating. I'd be the guy waiting at my house, waiting for the kids to come so I give them candy. That was me.
When you say it that way, it's a little creepy.
I know, but Halloween's a creepy time. They're asking for candy and they don't know me either, so I have to give it to them. I don't know who's creepier.
I remember when I was a kid being like, I got sick during Halloween once. I had pneumonia, and my mom didn't want me to go trick-or-treating, and I was so upset about it because I loved Halloween so much. But I think at the end of the day, I wound up going, and I bundled up, I had a million layers on with my costume. But yeah, I don't know, I grew up, loved Halloween. I still do. Yeah. I feel like I'm I know you dress up every year whenever you can, if you go out or go to a party,
right? But that's because of senior year. That started because of senior year.
Yeah,
now I'm obsessed with it. Yeah,
I'm any excuse to dress up for Halloween. I find out someone wants to go to dinner, can I dress up because it's October 31st, and if we're gonna go to dinner October 31st, I'm gonna wear a costume. Yeah, love Halloween.
Need a costume. That's fine.
What movie are we talking about today, Chris?
I've been dying to talk about this movie for so long. And we are doing Casper, the Friendly Ghost. Well, it's just Casper, but yeah, there's just so many memories for me. I'm just so emotionally attached to this movie in so many different ways. I mean, it was groundbreaking when we saw it.
The CGI in the movie is still great, amazing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how.
I don't know what they did to make it that good, but yeah.
But like, why they put it all into this movie, I'll never know. And then there's a sequel after that, and it's terrible.
Casper Meets Wendy. Oh my God.
No, there's another one called Spirited Beginning, and it's a prequel to how Casper, like, he wakes up and he's a ghost and he doesn't know why. Never seen it?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's a prequel. It's not a sequel. It's a prequel, but it came after the first Casper, and the quality of the CG is just garbage. It's so bad.
I'm assuming it was straight to VHS.
Yes, it was straight to VHS. I just remember hating how bad the CG was, but excited to see it because it was Casper.
Was it the same voice actor that did the voice for Casper?
No, none of it. I don't think so. Maybe the ghostly trio, some of them, but I don't think so.
I mean, Brad Garrett is like all over the place, so I'm sure he was there.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. He might have been. Yeah. I don't remember. I saw that movie once and didn't even like it as a kid. So, but I watched it because I like Casper. There was a Casper TV show. I don't know if you remember too, based on the movie.
I don't. And it was animated or live action.
It was part of the kids WB lineup. I don't remember back in the day.
I mean, I know from my parents talking about old school Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it started off as the original cartoons. There was a movie version, kind of like The Mummy and all those movies that came out in the 90s. Like they just started making TV shows out of them. Mm-hmm. I do remember the Casper one because I was excited for it. But I watched it maybe once or twice. It wasn't anything special. It's kind of weird.
I don't even remember it. I mean, I do remember. Right. I do remember this movie. Like we used to watch it all the time on VHS. Like we always had like, I don't know if you did the same thing when you were a kid, but you had like a stack of movies for a holiday. Like we had a stack of like Halloween movies, and they were the Halloween VHSs that like we watched for Halloween. And then we had like, a stack of Christmas ones.
So I watched this movie the most, I think in like within the week, I would go back and forth between Little Giants and this because what's his name is in both movies. So I'd go back like the one and then the other. And I'll just be like, I know that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
because I'd watch it. I'm like, I know him from this movie, so I wanted to go watch him again in this movie.
And then we were doing it, we were texting about it, and we were realizing all the movies that he was in, and he's still, I think, around acting.
I love that kid. I have the other movie he's in called Wild America with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Not so
you mentioned that.
I was dying to see that movie because I felt like he was a friend of mine. I felt like Jonathan Taylor Thomas was a friend of mine, even though they're just actors. But they were like,
but they were like everywhere.
Kids I looked up to. Yeah, they were like in everything.
You watched Home Improvement a lot too, and I watched Home Improvement. It was my life. I was like very attached to those characters.
I watched Jonathan Taylor Thomas movies always.
You know what I wanted to mention too? Some of the best Halloween episodes, Home Improvement. I don't know if you remember them, but some of the best ones,
and that's I was going to say that my favorite holiday show episodes are from Home Improvement because they always do great Halloween episodes. Always.
So good. Yeah. I was just talking with my parents about that the other day. They were like,
they were the
best Home Improvement.
I remember as a kid, like coming home
and Roseanne
from school, and I felt like maybe it was on. And I remember only a few of those sitcoms. It was because like it was probably like a TGIF thing. Maybe I don't even know when it was on. I don't think it was on that day, but like even Boy Meets World, I remember watching specific episodes. We grew up with like Sabrina was like a Halloween show every day. There's so much spooky stuff as kids. Like, you know, we had Goosebumps. Oh my God, the Goosebumps shows too.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I have the Haunted Mask one is crazy and creepy. That's like a Halloween thing. I remember I watched that movie once. It went into the back of the shelf of the VHSs. I never watched it again.
Wait,
it freaked me out.
Not to digress too much. Do you remember? I don't know if you read the Goosebumps books, but there was a Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps book. It was called like the Clock Tower or something. But you like
so my brother has all those books. He can tell you. It's like you can make up your own ending with some of those.
You like as you go through, you choose the page you want to go to next. Oh my God. So
you know who invented that? That was I believe Josh Baskins from Big invented that with the comic book endings.
We might have talked about this in that episode too.
Probably.
I feel like we did. Yeah, we definitely did.
Come full circle. Anyways, back to Casper. I just remember seeing a trailer for that, being mind blown for some reason, it being such a big deal as a kid. Seeing it with my grandmother and my brother. And I remember this kid. I know his name. I just don't want to repeat it because I doubt he knows. But this kid Rob, I'll say Robbie. Please. That was his first name, and he did like karate with my brother. And I remember running into him in the theater. With I don't know if we were going to see that. Maybe we were. He was just happened to be there. And I have this fond memory. I'll never leave me because he said he pointed to my brother and I and himself, and he called us all versions of the ghostly trio. I won't say which ones we were, but you could probably guess. That was really fun. And I was the younger one at the time, so I was little. So, and it was just fun. No, you know what? He called me, instead of stinky, he called me smelly.
Close enough. Did he do it on purpose?
That's all. I remember that till this day. I thought it was so funny. He's like, you could be smelly.
You can be smelly. It's like that's not right, but close enough.
Anyways, and then we went to Pizza Hut, I believe, right after, and they had these Casper cups, and you could put the stickers on them. And we used to have with all the ghostly trios, you could put the sticker on them. I had that Casper cup forever.
This was like, you watching it now, you wouldn't think, but like this was a big movie when we were kids. Like it was big budget. First of all, and stuff. It's produced by I think Amblin, which is Steven Spielberg's company, which added to the number
Spielberg
of
is involved
Spielberg's movies, that we've talked about. But and then to get Dan Aykroyd to come.
Let's get the laundry list of cameos that are in this movie.
So many
Whoever's on set.
In this movie, like let's throw them in the movie.
It was like to keep our parents just like from walking out, I guess, Yeah.
Well, I watched this with my parents, and both of them, when Father Guido Salducci came on, they were like, "No way," because like they watched SNL, so like they obviously.
But like he used to be in a pizza commercial or something too, growing up.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, but he is the funniest guy in this movie, and we would quote that line he has still to this day, but it's so funny. Especially my dad would love saying that line.
I think that's some of the worst. Maybe it's a practical effect, but if it's not practical, it's some of the worst CGI.
Oh no, it's totally CG. Oh no, that's totally CG, and you could tell it's CG because it's just how it lines up. But as a kid, I was so confused how they did that. I was like, I remember like looking.
He's walking around, his head is turned around.
Trying to walk backwards and forwards when they turn his head around. But you hear that neck crack, that
yeah.
Like, how did he do that? And it looks weird how they have that like kind of corkscrew neck they gave him.
Yeah, it just looks not good.
It's a cartoon at the end of the day. It's funny.
They tried. Wait, before we talk about the movie more.
Yeah. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I'm gonna open my beer. I know we're so excited.
Oh yeah, what do you got? What do you got today?
I'm gonna open my beer. Okay, so I was gonna get like an Oktoberfest type of beer, but I have so much beer. Oh, my present I got you.
Yes.
Yes. Right, I mean, for those of you who can't see it, it's a Back to the Future 35
right today.
License plate keychain. But I have so much beer anymore. I have more beer. Is it like blasting me in the face?
Is it delicious?
I haven't tried it yet, but it's American Psycho on the cover.
Oh, that's what that is.
I went with a little spoopy-ish type of beer, and it's called Feed Me a Stray Cat.
There we go.
And it's by Nightmare Brewing, I guess. Nightmare Brewing.
That better?
Oh, Fat Orange Cat Brewing Company from Connecticut. And we're going to find out how good it is. I don't know. It's pretty good. Is it a double
beer.
IPA? I
think it's
a triple IPA. It's very.
Oh,
it's
so we're going to get crazy at the end of this episode.
It is very bitter. But it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get crazy for Casper, a kid's movie.
Well, there's a lot of drunk stuff that happens in this movie, so get ready for it.
Very true. Okay, what are you drinking? You got your coffee.
Just coffee today. Just my hazelnut, which I do love, my hazelnut creme, but it's I'm a little boozeless.
So you got to say like boo the whole episode.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I just I mean, like we usually jump all around, but I definitely want to save a portion for just strictly the score. I'm not going to get to it right now. Later down the road, I want to talk about the movies and some of the stuff that, as if as a kid, I remember stood out for me and why it works for me as a kid. And I think you said it the most. It was kind of big budget. Spielberg did it. And it was just, I think it must have been the animation that did it for us. It's so mind blowing as a kid. It seems so real to us. And I remember like never seeing anything like that, and how it's still like, it really does still hold up. And I watched that show I told you on YouTube, the Corridor guys. You should really check them out. And they do a Casper episode from last year, and they talk about how some of the shots were so well done, but like it took like months just to do like a 20-second shot.
Oh wow.
Because it was different back then.
It amazes me. I always, when I think about the CGI, I think about, there's the scene when they're in the library with Bill Pullman, and he puts his hand on one of the ghostly trio's back, and you can like see his hand like through.
Oh really? That does it for you?
Like it doesn't break at all. And it's, I don't know, it's so good. It as a kid, it made you feel like these ghosts were real.
What's really, yeah. Learning more about computer animation and effects from those guys, they really go into it. And I've learned a lot now about it. And I've always been interested in it since I've seen it since whenever I saw computer animated things, but not knowing at the time until maybe Toy Story. My dad goes, "That's all done with computers." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I'm like, cool. That's like, I really thought it was just magic. Like they just were real. But the thing was like how important it is to get your lighting right. And what I think what really works the effect of why it feels real for these guys, because their transparency, like you see everything through them. It's not like a block of like it
when they're eating the food.
And it doesn't seem like it's like that filmy kind of just like black line. You know, you see like old movies, there's like a black line. They explain this too in other movies because that's done through like blue screen or green screen. They don't have that. This is literally two things kind of welded together, and where it's just kind of, I mean, it's still that process, I think, or similar to it, but
probably something similar.
It works just so
but it's
cool.
So well. Like they did it so well.
It must took forever. Because they don't have just one ghost. That was the saying. They got full facial expressions, and this is all hand animated back then. There's no mo capture. This is all done through people sitting there making it real. I was also
always impressed on how the uncanniness to Bill Pullman. They got like that ghost looks like Bill Pullman, and the other, I don't know the actress's name, but Crittenton. It looks like her.
I always thought she looked better than him, but I agree. Yeah. Now when I watch it, it's still pretty great.
He's a little goofy looking.
She's a little more. I thought his face was too skinny or something. I don't know. I'm very picky about the look. But also, the other thing I wanted to say was the just like when they, they just kind of like they show up, and just like that kind of just ghostly texture. I don't know why. It just it feels real to me every time I watch them. I think they're real. So
they don't look solid. They look like that. Like what does Casper describe it as? That like tingly feeling when your foot falls asleep, right? Like that's what they look like. Literally, that's a great.
I call it an apparition because I learned that from my Ghostbuster analogies.
You know what I want to talk about? So you know who's in the opening scene of this movie? And I didn't know until I looked up the credits.
Yes, Chauncey Lepardi, Squints Palladores. I've known that forever. I don't know who the other kid is. I'm sure he's famous too, but I don't know. I can give you three kids off the bat that are in this movie that are famous 90s kids. The boy Vic, that's Guy Germain from Mighty Ducks.
Oh my God, it is. You're right.
That's Guy. And the girl Amber, we all know her as what's her name though in Home Improvement. She's the girl from Home Improvement, and she was on Boy Meets World as well. She was like a 90s sitcom actress.
Only a person you would notice. I would never.
I watch 90s sitcoms every day.
I know.
I want to be in one and leave this world.
When I was so when you were a kid, did you understand the premise of this movie?
That's another thing, plot wise.
Get it? Yeah, that his wife died.
It's a little over your head. What's going on?
Yeah, I never understood what he did.
I don't know. I thought it was just kind of, I think a little bit, just like they have to go in and get the ghost out. but I don't know why. Or just
like the basic premise, but like not. Yeah.
I also thought maybe they were poor and they had they needed a new house, and that was the house they got. I don't know.
I don't remember watching it now as an adult. I don't remember that whole part with Crittenton that she inherits the house.
That
from her
part
husband.
way over our heads.
Way over my head.
I thought it was funny because of Ben Stein being in it and recognizing him though.
Yes. Very recognizable. Where is he now? What is Ben Stein doing?
He's old. He's up there. He's like 80. He's just old. He's fine. I saw him in the Ferris Bueller reunion they did on that Josh Gad YouTube thing. They were doing what was that? Whatever that was called.
During the pandemic, they were doing all the reunions. Yeah.
I love that. I loved all that. And he's just like, I love he goes like, daughter Garrigan, Whipstaff Matter in Maine. and I'm late for lunch. Excuse me.
And then also, I never can remember his name. The one who plays
Dibs,
who is a very popular British actor. He was part of Monty Python. Time. I always think of National Lampoon's European Vacation because he's the one that Chevy Chase's character is always injuring everywhere they go in Europe.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
I saw that later, so I probably knew that later down the road.
Oh no, I definitely didn't see that before Casper. I saw it after, but like that's my association.
He's from Monty Python, though, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Carrigan, the deed's in there. His voice cracks me up.
I always love when he gets angry at her, and then she kicks
when he walks in
the moon.
he's hysterical this whole movie. He burns his thumb.
What were you gonna say?
And he goes like. He goes like, are you the caretaker? Are you a burglar? I must warn you, I am armed.
It is his phone. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. I love when he's like, when they run out for the first time, they get scared by the ghostly trio. It's during that scene. And then he's like, how he screams is great.
He's just very, very comical. He's very good at that like slapsticky comedy too. He's great at it.
He's great, yeah.
When he's in the chair too with her sitting on her lap.
Yeah. Garrigan. He goes, he's like, are you a transient?
I know. I was like to my mom, I was like, oh, they put transient in the movie for kids. I mean, yeah, kids don't know what transient means.
I don't know what it is really still today. I don't know.
I also always love that they're traveling the country in that like station wagon. We had a station wagon when I was a kid, and like seeing that station wagon, we had like one brought back memories.
Not like that station wagon, but we had a different type of station wagon.
Oh yeah, we didn't have that.
The rounder ones. Yeah.
It just like, I don't know. It brought me back to being a kid because that station wagon was gigantic. Could fit so much in.
And did you know Christina Ricci though from as Wednesday before this movie?
Was she Now and Then before this?
Yeah, I think so.
So we were a huge Now and Then. I watched Now and Then probably more than this movie when I was a kid. So if anything, I knew her from that as Roberta. Okay. She was Roberta. I think she's Roberta.
I saw her in this first, but I did see probably Addams Family before that, but not putting that together.
She was younger in Addams Family.
And we were very young when Addams Family came out, so it's like we knew the idea of it, but we didn't really watch it. But back to the movie. So like, yeah, I was just like, I think she seemed, and that's the thing, when you're a kid and you see like a teenager, you think they're so much older than they really are. So watching it now as an adult, it's like really weird. But she's really good in the movie.
You know what I wanted to ask you? And I don't know, maybe I can bring it up later. Well, let's talk about this one thing now, and then I'll talk about the other thing later. So Casper is 12. Does he look like a 12-year-old boy?
No. No. So either they just had to go with that. But my thought was they made him a little bit older. She made him a little bit older for his dream to come true. So he'd be the same age. Maybe. That's my course correcting it,
Okay.
making it not so creepy.
That makes sense. But I'm always like,
he died when he was 12.
Are pretty young.
Obviously,
like he was playing in the snow. Like he was young.
just disbelief. Suspend your disbelief for that for a minute, or and then just kind of buy the fact that I give myself that rule, so it makes sense to me. I don't know if that's true. There's a lot of rules in this movie that they have that they don't make sense. So I give that one I
don't know how old that actor was. It's possible he just looked
older.
Like
same
maybe
age
he's just
as her.
A more mature looking
they're like
person.
the same age. They're the same age, if not older. I don't know how old he is now. He's in his 40s.
He has to be in his 40s. Yeah, something like that. I think he was in the new.
If not
just
40.
As an aside, I think he's in the new Chucky series. If anybody's watched it on Sci-Fi.
Oh, cool. He's in a terrible
I saw listed on his credits.
He's in a terrible movie that came out, and it got and it's really strange and weird that Fred Durst made called the Fan or something, and it's with John Travolta, and he's like, it's like what? You watch it. I didn't even see it, but I watched a reviewer talk about that movie, and Devon Sawa was in it, and he's obsessed with Devon Sawa. He's like his big actor or whatever, and John he ends Travolta's up just like, but he's like, and then he becomes so obsessive and terrorizing.
I have to look this up. This sounds
it's so bad, and the acting is crazy. Let's see. He is.
Who needs a fact checker? Chris can just look it up on his phone.
I'm looking it up right now. He's got to be 40 at least.
Because he played a high school
here you go.
When Final
He's like 42.
Out.
He's like 42.
Okay.
Or you just turned 42. There you go.
Happy birthday.
Or 42. Oh, sorry, 43. 43. Sorry, I'm trying to do math in my head.
He was a 43. Cute kid. Let's be honest. He was adorable as a child.
Good looking dude.
Such a cute kid.
He had that hair. He had the blondie.
Oh my god, that 90s mushroom hair.
Whenever you saw blonde haired kids, I would just think Casper.
Or who's the kid from Hocus Pocus that plays Thackeray Banks? He had lovely hair as well. Thackeray.
The guy from NCIS, you mean?
Is that who it is?
Oh yeah. And he's dubbed over by Mr. James Marsden, who played I forgot his name on Full House.
Who doesn't love James Marsden?
And but he
played
on
Full House.
He was on Full House. He was on Woman's World. He was on Step by Step. But he plays the voice of Binks, but he's not, because we talked about this, I think, on Goofy, because he's Max.
Yes, we did talk. No. Oh, okay. So I'm thinking, James Marsden. Yeah. Sorry.
Watch the beginning of Hocus Pocus.
I'm getting my
dubs
wires
over that guy's.
Marsden.
Yeah, he dubs over his voice. Watch it again. It's James Marsden dubbing over that actor who plays Thackeray, but that guy is on NCIS, still is, I believe, too. Yeah,
that show's still going strong.
All right.
I think.
Now,
anyway,
back to off of Hocus Pocus, back to Devon Sawa, and I just create that rule that she gave it to him, because she's judging Amy. What? Judging Amy? You never watched that show?
No.
That's who the mom is.
Oh, she was also was she on Touched by an Angel? I think too.
No, different actress.
No,
or at least no, different actress. You're thinking of. You're just thinking of other angels.
Connecting Angels.
Yeah.
I don't remember that show.
She Christopher Lloyd.
What?
She an angel in the outfield.
Oh, stupid. Your dad jokes are back. Well, it's not really a dad joke, but your dumb jokes are back.
My angel joke.
Your angel jokes.
Look, I'm touched by an angle.
Oh.
I'll stop. Okay.
I don't know. What are we talking about? Where were we?
I was telling the fact that the rules of this movie. We'll get into mistakes first about this movie, because the plot is basically they have to get the ghost out, and then I don't know, they get paid
can steal the treasure, and then he can get paid.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the treasure thing too, by the way. But before that, because so the mistakes in this movie. First off, they have no rules how ghosts
none
really
whatsoever.
are, but they say
makes no sense.
That they can't hurt you is kind of a one rule, according to the dad. At least that's what he believes. That the ghost can't hurt you.
Yeah, I think that's just a belief. I don't think that's a rule.
Right. So I kind of give that also a gray area. But these are like the rules that they kind of set you up to believe.
Yeah.
That they can't hurt you. Well, at least Casper can go invisible. He can go through walls.
Wait, the not hurting thing is not true because Crittenton hurts.
I was getting there.
Okay.
So
I jumped the gun.
He hurts more than they hurt more than that. They can do whatever because they can lift objects and hit you with them if they want. Technically, you're hurt. So
okay, wait. So go back. You have your rules. Go back.
The rules are saying they can't hurt you. They can go through objects like thick as steel walls, and then they can go through. They can turn invisible. They can't see the reflection. Number 4.
No. Yeah.
At least, well, in the beginning they explain that. And what's the final one?
There's that whole rule about them not remembering, like they forget their past.
Yes, they forget. Which is
probably the most consistent rule.
That I thought was well put in. There's a bit of a detail with that.
Yeah.
Because remember, Kerrigan goes, he goes like, don't you remember? He's like, she's
Yeah.
like, remember what?
She's like,
but
remember
somehow all
what?
she remembers is the treasure and everybody's name.
Yeah.
I don't know how. But like it's very
well, it's like
it's
fading
very
for her,
weird.
so she only remembers like a couple.
I want to
of
go
things,
into
and
that
it's, like,
whole
going on.
unbelievable how they die and then they can come back.
Oh yeah.
What the hell
but
happens
they have to have,
between
they
that
have
process?
To have unfinished business. But like she didn't have unfinished business, so she should have never have come back. But she comes back only for them to tell her, "You don't have unfinished business," and then she disappears.
She had to come to that sense herself. I think that's smart, though. To me, that's a rule.
Yeah.
That if they have unfinished business,
themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, which explains why he's too. There. Yeah, that makes sense.
What does a ghost have to do? Because Casper had unfinished business. So would he cross over after he gets to have a friend with a cat? I thought that would be an interesting ending.
Is that what his unfinished business is, though?
No, his finished business was he doesn't have any. He doesn't. I mean, he does.
I thought it was his father.
Maybe
that was what I
don't know. We'd have to go into supernatural rules to understand a lot of this.
Debate about what Casper's unfinished.
It gets confusing fast, and I told you,
I
it's
think
cool.
It's his dad because he does that whole like monologue about how his dad went crazy trying to bring him back. So I feel like maybe it was his dad.
And I want to know what year that was.
Yes, thank you. This is what I wanted to bring up. My dad and I were trying to figure it out because the baseball that he has saved is from a player from 1940s-ish.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it looks like they lived in Victorian era. So it makes no sense.
But yeah, which is, I think they messed up there too. Unless the dad was that old, dying in 1940s, and Casper was just still haunting him, and they were playing.
Yeah, maybe he saved the
because he didn't say that he used to just stayed around and hang out with his dad.
That's what I was thinking. Or I was also thinking that, his father was alive in Victorian era, and then
I think they gave up themselves.
It still doesn't make sense.
I'm sure all of it doesn't make sense, and it's
none of it makes sense. Yeah, we were trying to figure it out too, because like.
Well, I was thinking,
when you look at his dad, it's like Victorian mustache and his Victorian outfit.
I remember, like, sometimes you have a ball, and I just happen to have that in front of me. But like your ball, that's your treasure. But like, if that ball has some worth to it, maybe it is a treasure. I'm like, if it's from the 40s and it was signed by a famous baseball player. But I looked it up. I think the highest one I saw was like $600 or something crazy like that.
I mean, that's pretty insane for a guy who played on.
Kerrigan was looking for like gold and like wanted like billions of dollars out of a treasure she thought was in the bottom of a house.
Baseball
a baseball would have been funny to be like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I love how Casper was
movie,
like, well, okay. So when I never realized it when I watched it the first, like when I was a kid, but I loved how, if you think about when they find the treasure written on that deed, it like seems like a child's thing. It's like red beard, the pirate. Yeah, like
and buried gold with stuff doth a treasure hold.
Yeah, like that sounds like a child wrote it. Like, come on, like Or maybe it's One-Eye Willie from the Goonies. Who knows?
Well, that was the point that character that his dad and him came up with that, and it'd be hidden on the back of some random thing.
Yeah.
Everything is a plot device in this movie, and you just go with it. Just like that chair brings you down into the depths. I mean, as a kid, you're so overwhelmed with, I don't understand any of this, but you're just so cool visually.
Fantastical.
It's spooky and it's very fantastical, right?
So fantastical.
How funny. The humor is what makes this movie so great. The humor lands for me the whole movie.
But it's also super dark. Like, so when the ghostly trio are trolling him for his wife, you know, when they're saying like, they're like, oh yeah, we know her, we've talked to her, and then it's just Fatso. Like, that's so messed up. Like, as an adult, I'm like, oh wow, that's
as a kid, it's silly and funny. As an adult, you're like, that's so terrible.
Oh my God, that's
pretty
awful.
cruel. Like I said,
man's wife died.
90s kids movies. For kids back then, we didn't know any better.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why we talk about mostly 90s movies anyway. And it's because stuff like this happened and it was fine.
Yeah, it's like, as a kid, we didn't know the cruelty. Cruelty was funny back then. So, you know, there was a what do you call, like a joke with an edge that made it seem funny. But now it's like, you think about that too seriously. It's like, wow, that's so messed up.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so mean. I was watching it the other night and I was like, oh my God, this is sad. Like, his wife died.
Yeah. People say this is a really sad movie. It's dark. It is a dark movie.
Casper. Yeah. My mom, when we were watching it, said like, that's really sad because Casper
died of pneumonia or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he dies a kid.
I thought he died of hypothermia.
Hypothermia. Sorry. What did I say?
Hypothermia. Yeah. No, he died of pneumonia. But I always thought he died of hypothermia, but he died of pneumonia. To me, hypothermia would have been rough because he died in the cold, like just like froze to death. That would have been really messed up, but that's not how he died.
I guess not. They never say, and they can't because it's too dark, I think, to say exactly how he died. But they just by the way, that scene is just perfect. It's so well done.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's so good. I watch it every time. I'm just like, this is where all the money and this is why this movie still holds up. That scene alone is just amazing.
Was it? Wait, is it
so dramatic for kids movie?
When he's in the toy room or when they're on the lighthouse?
Yeah, and he's remembering everything, and he just explains how he died, and he remembers it.
That toy room. I said it to my parents when we were watching it. I was like, how
she set that up so fast.
I know. Well, one, but two, that toy room when I was a kid was so cool. Like,
it is.
I remember being like, whoa, look at all those toys. Yeah, when the train goes through his mouth. The train. I do love that too.
It's cool. Just so funny, the cool animation choices they did in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like I said, but they were more creative back then, you know.
Yeah.
To make things interesting.
Wait,
yeah, just the look of Maine looks so fall and Halloween, and I love that look. Yeah. And just like as soon as I see leaves outside change, I think I'm in Maine, and like there.
When she's walking down the street going to school, it reminds me of Hocus Pocus when he's going to school, and it's just like it gives you those vibes of like being like, this is what we weren't there when we were kids, but like we watched all these movies that like felt like that when we were kids, like walking down the street, the leaves are falling,
and the moon in this movie, like the nighttime looks awesome. Oh, when they're on the lighthouse is awesome, even though they probably freeze to death, and she'd probably just become a different ghost anyways and be a friend with her forever. But see, you froze like me. But like, you know.
Oh no.
But my friend, I remember my friend, we used to watch this movie, and he used to say that line when they come back to her room, and you know, the whole like, cat, can I keep you line or whatever.
Oh well, yeah, of course, everyone knows that line.
I used to laugh so hard because he would make fun of this movie as we're watching it because he was older, but he goes like, Casper. Or she would say, Casper, close the window. It's cold. And he'd make this joke that he'd try to close it, but he'd go through the window and then fall.
Oh, no.
And he'd be like, ah! But as he said, he would do it every time. It used to make me crack up so much.
You just feel so bad for him. It makes me so sad. Like,
it is sad, but he's a friendly guy. He is to, He's a friendly ghost.
He is a friendly ghost. And okay, so to talk about the "Can I keep you" line, what? Okay, so as a kid, it wasn't like a big deal. Like it was a cute little thing. But as
I look at it as an innocent child, just looking as a friend who's just desperate for. You can't look at it as some kid who's perverted or something. It has nothing to do with that.
No. I look at it as like everyone, because he says in the beginning, like everyone sees him and screams and runs away. So he wants her to stay around. And it's so sweet.
Yeah. I look at it as that way. I think it's very innocent of him.
Oh, it's so innocent. But as an adult, I'm like, okay, all right.
It feels weird. It does. I said, you're looking at this movie as an adult or kid's lens. It's a little different. But I remember exactly and understanding that as a kid watching it. And I never thought it was weird.
No, I never thought it was weird.
I thought it was kind of a little like I was a little squirmish because I would never say that to anybody. But like he had a, but like you said, he's been lonely for a long time.
Can we talk about,
Fred Rogers?
Talk about the score, but I'm going to talk about the song that's playing when they're dancing. That's like basically describing.
Oh, well, that's the Casper song. Yeah, that's the prom song.
Yes, I love that song so much.
It's great. Yeah, it's good.
It's such a good.
I know. And it's good.
It brings me back to like all the 90s movies that had that like pop song that was written. You find a special friend. I think
someone told me that was their prom song.
Who? What?
Oh, an older coworker. I was talking about the movie, or someone else said, "Yeah, that was their prom song." So makes sense.
I mean, it's a great song. It really is a good song. Like if you take it away from them,
it's a slow dance in the tune. Movie. It's a ballad. Yeah, it's great. It's great written. Yeah, I always think, for some reason, when I hear that song, I think of like 107 or 10 whatever Light FM.
102.7.
Yeah, whatever.
For those of you in New York, 102.7.
I don't know why, but it reminds me of like. It's not the same. Who's it? Desiree? You gotta be. Oh, you gotta stick together. And it's just probably the same key, and she sounds a lot like her. So I don't think it's the same artist, but every time I hear that, every time I hear the cast, I can think of that song.
Make your wish come true.
Great song.
Wait. So something I want to talk about really quick, because we talked about when we think he died. So when he comes back as a person, he's wearing like this very weird outfit. He looks like a pilgrim. Like he has that white shirt. Well, that's what I thought. Ties.
No, that makes sense because that's the same attire what she was wearing because it's their mom's or whatever.
That's and what I want to talk about. Is he dressed like she is, or did he die in the 1800s?
Yeah, I think he did because his mom was. I don't know. They don't say like how old the mom was around or not, do they?
Yeah, no, I don't think they do. I think he just says his mom died and it was just him and his dad or something like that. Maybe
said it was his mom's. So then he was a kid when he died, or he remembers that before he died, unless he was still around and she wore that after he was dead. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think any of it makes sense. So try not to hurt your head trying to figure it out.
I know. Also, his uncles.
Well, in the spirit of the beginning, they explain that, and they're not really his uncles, and that there's these other ghosts that end up just going with him. And it's like they just pretend to be his uncles. It's very strange. So,
convoluted backstory that I don't.
Yeah, it was like they had to watch him or something. I don't remember that movie at all. But I'll find a clip of that explaining that, and that they're like his adopted uncles.
Oh,
so that they can haunt the house together. I don't know.
Haunt the house together. They're so mean to him.
I know. Whoever probably made up Casper had probably a similar experience, and it's probably based on that. So, with real uncles. I always hate the scene when he's sweeping the floor underneath them when they're eating. It always bothered me.
I
think it's also like a fairy tale kind of thing. Cinderella was the same thing. I think it's a takeoff.
Well, yeah, they literally reference Cinderella in this movie, so yeah, it makes sense.
There you go.
Romeo and Juliet.
Hey, what do you think you're doing, bulb head?
Oh,
this floor used to be good enough to eat off. His voice, that guy gets a lot of credit. He's as Stretch, man, he's good.
He's got that perfect like Brooklyn accent down.
Great, yeah.
And then there's
I don't know. She's always been an angel to me.
Ew, that was so good. I hate how good that was. I love when they're going back and
Brad
forth.
Garrett.
When she's like, drop dead.
Yeah.
And they're like, too late.
Too late. They're so funny though. They're great. I could watch a whole spin-off of just them. I thought they could do that.
Oh my god, that would have been perfect.
It would be awesome. That would be so good. Make it a little bit dirtier and crazier.
Oh wait,
that'd be so.
So you know what else? Like being a rules of a ghost. So normally ghosts can't leave like where they're haunting, right? Because like they're grounded wherever they are for some reason.
Yeah.
They can go wherever they want. So why do they stay in this house?
But that's their house, and they want to haunt it.
For what reason?
I thought about the spin-off movie I would call, by the way, with the Ghostly Trio. I would call it like Ghostly Trios Take a Vacation, and then they would just haunt some city or some place, and it'd be an awesome movie.
I mean, that's the premise of Beetlejuice too, isn't it? Doesn't he go to like Hawaii and like?
There's a Beetlejuice too?
No, like that was like the story of Beetlejuice too. Was that he was gonna? I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even read about
the Caribbean. So
you would know better than me.
That's all I know. I can't speak more on it because I don't know.
Okay, so but anyways, but like, yeah, I don't know. So there's another rule if you want to add on to the list. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It goes in every ghost story.
Here's the other thing. Okay, this always bothers me as a kid. How they stop the Ghostly Trio when they're fighting the dad in the beginning of the movie.
Vacuum.
With the vacuum, they suck them up. Couldn't they just get out of that bag?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. They're like struggling, and it's like
it's a great part. I love it. I think it's funny.
You're ghosts. You can just go. They can go through. Say the line with the metal with the safe.
I said unless like the rule is like they can't get out of a certain material. Doesn't matter. Never
heard of that before, but maybe it's a rule in this movie. No clue.
I just have to believe everything in this movie somehow, even if it doesn't make sense or doesn't work. It's a good laugh.
Yes. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't have issues with it. It's just as I'm older, I'm like, I realize
I'm in the hose. This sucks.
Oh my god, that was scary.
As a kid, that freaked me out. Like he said, sucks, but then I didn't get the joke until like 10 years later.
It's a vacuum.
My dad goes, "Oh, I get it." Yeah. Dad joke. There you go.
It really is like it's the definition of a dad joke. Also, wait. So can we talk about another thing? So the school couldn't have their dance at the school, which is normally what happens.
Oh yes, so I wanted to bring this up. So good.
Took a vote in the class to see where they were going to have their middle school dance, and they just were like, "Okay, it's at Kat's house. Like whatever."
Mr. Curtis, get this straight. This girl has a creepy, seriously creepy house. What room is spare?
Like, okay, like we'll just have it.
And she's trying to say like, no, that's my house. But then Amber gets up. Yeah, that's right. And they all fall down Amber. Anyways.
Oh yeah, I love the shoe tying. That's great. Can we talk about how awesome? Like, honestly, I can't think of any of the other costumes, but I love the teacher's lobster costume.
And the Halloween part. Yeah, there's so many lame ones. That one's pretty lame.
It's lame, but I love it. And it's just like weird that like, I don't know. They just like went to someone's house and they're like, here's the party.
We're here.
Also, I think we should talk about this too. The fact that Casper's dad in possibly 1899, whatever, 1900, discovered that he can
McFadden claimed.
Mm-hmm. He can make people that are ghosts, bring them back to life. Mm-hmm. He made a machine. Amazing to me. I don't know. Is this not? I was watching the movie and I was like, this is wild to me.
I mean, I learned what the Lazarus was, kind of, from it.
Like the Lazarus pit, like
because
you
that's
like
what
eternal life and like rejuvenated you.
Yes, that's Lazarus's.
Whenever I think of Lazarus pit, I mean, you're a fan of Batman the animated series.
Well, that's what it is. Yes, it's a revival, mysterious thing. But I think I forgot what I was reading and then found out what that word meant and tied it back into Casper. I was like, oh, I get it now. So
yeah,
I just thought it was a cool name. Yeah,
it's just wild to me that like
it just sound like laser to me. I'm like, cool, laser is. I don't know.
I don't know. It still blows my mind to say that there's all these buttons and stuff, and like this was like possibly before 1900.
That also made me upset as a kid, and it made no sense. Remember how he can't get it started? He doesn't know what to do.
No, he's like pulling the levers and stuff.
Right. She finds the Frankenstein book, which is a nice nod,
Yeah. When was Frankenstein written though? Because I didn't look that up.
I don't know. Whenever.
Probably like 1880 something, I would imagine.
Sure. Try to figure out that math. But like she turns open the book, it's a secret button thing, and then Casper's like, oh, I did it. He thought he figured it out, even though she figured it out, and she's like, nope. Okay, yeah, sure.
Aww.
And then like minutes later, he finds that book and knows about it and does all the buttons. He knows how to do everything.
Because he can't remember.
How did he remember though? She didn't show him what that was.
Maybe he remembered. I don't know.
Within that 5 minutes, sure.
Who knows?
Yeah, makes no sense.
I mean, her dad forgot and then remembered really quick too. So like, who knows what the logistics are of ghosts forgetting and remembering.
That whole thing. Yeah. Well, there was connection there. There was something that sparked it. Was the paint.
Yeah, but maybe he remembered when the machine started to come up. Like everything started to like come back to him. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. That one was tough for me. And like I said, I think that whole thing is a mess. You could see it was maybe shot or rewritten. I don't know. I stand by that whole ending because there's just so much going on. I really don't know. It just jumps around like random stuff. Like he's in a night suit at one point, dips, and then he's like out of it. Remember that whole like they're trying to kill each other because then they can go like someone would become the ghost to go get the treasure.
Yeah.
And like he hides in like a night suit. And he had like all this mess on him from the chair below, and then he's like cleaned up. And
that's just a continuity.
But he has the cut still on his. I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I was gonna say like that part feels rushed. Like even her death, like she's the villain, right? Like
I feel like they pulled the mummy on us. All of a sudden, she
just like went quick.
Yeah, but I feel like they pulled the Mummy movie. Brendan Fraser at the ending, like that whole city, that hotel place that they hang out, and there's like it makes no sense.
Like there's like a jump, and it's like,
I feel like there's like a whole section missing of that movie.
Yeah,
there feels a little weird. I don't know. It just feels sloppy. Maybe it's just bad editing and it's just jumping around. I don't know. Maybe there's supposed to be more things like and they cut editing. It. Yeah, because he's like in a night suit and then all of a sudden he's outside. I feel like there was supposed to be way more things going on there.
They're just trying to. Yeah, like
it's very strange.
Feels like there should be something.
And then she's automatic. Like, remember, she like falls out of the house.
Yeah, she doesn't die. She gets like.
She doesn't die from that. I feel like that's how she was supposed to die. She survives that somehow. Somehow she does the twirling thing on one foot. No idea how she does that. But then because of mud or something he finds, no idea where.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like that whole scene makes no sense. It's fine. It's funny.
Yeah, it gets like very slapsticky. That like that very
slapstick. Did you know? So did you? I think as a kid, I didn't know that like he died. I thought like the ghost made him into a ghost somehow. Like not that they killed him. Or, the dad, Bill Pullman.
Oh yeah, he falls into the. Harvey. I didn't get that when I was younger either. I thought they killed him.
It's a very dark thing.
It's an accident.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
But they do try to kill him, and then
they do, but that's the thing. Yeah. They do, and I thought that was more clear to me as a kid, but not really.
Yeah. It even as an adult, it doesn't make sense to me why there's like a big trench in the ground right outside the door.
Well, it makes sense for only the ghost could get there, but then be it like an abandoned bar that only they can like operate. There's like a guy and it's karaoke night, which is funny. Yeah, I love that scene.
I was watching the movie.
This guy passed out on there.
There's a guy passed out in the back, and I was like to my parents, I was like, "There's a guy back there."
Yeah, well, I think also maybe it's just one of these random bars that like it's in a dangerous spot and it's just no one cares, so it's just like don't go out that way.
It's also possible they just like scared the bartender away, and like this drunk that's sitting at the table just doesn't care.
I think that's the funnier thing. It's like these ghosts take over the bar, and that guy's just so drunk.
And that guy's just like, whatever, you're gonna stay.
It's really funny. I love that part. I mean, him singing Jailhouse is great.
Oh yeah, Bill Pullman's great. I didn't, you know what?
Yeah.
I was watching it with my parents. I was like, what's Bill Pullman done lately? And I didn't watch it, but my parents did. The Sinner. So he's been around. He did The Sinner on HBO.
Yeah.
It was all right. I it's not that it was bad. I just didn't like it. They watched the whole thing. I couldn't get past a couple episodes.
Okay.
But Bill Pullman's in it, so he's around.
Yeah.
We also watched Independence Day recently. Not recently,
crazy.
like within the last year.
It's
and like
so bad and great at the same time.
It's way funnier than I remember it being when I was younger.
Oh yeah, they take it so seriously when the trailers and seeing it as a kid. It seemed and it's scary. There's parts that are really scary. But I remember being like this big crazy movie, and like it was like the best movie ever. And then you watch it again in like your late teens or early 20s, and you're like, wow, this movie is just
you're like, is this a comedy?
It really is.
Yeah. But yeah,
like I never understood that as a kid, but like so yeah, and it's just what happens to their bodies after they die, you know?
That's what I was thinking too. Because is it still down there? Like
somehow this serum transforms their ghost body back to a real thing, which is cool. I'm down for that. But it's just like somehow, I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Comes back into matter and it just reforms somehow with whatever, you know, as Egon or Race would say, probably, you know, some type of ectoplasmic residue that reforms. I'm all for that. Like I would love the science behind that, but yeah, their like, body's still dead somewhere.
Like Casper,
they would find it and said this guy murdered or fell down. They report it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But he fell in a trench and he fell like either in the water or something. I don't know, wherever that was nearby.
I have no idea. It's not nearby. It's like literally right outside the door. He just like went right into it.
Yeah. Even Kerrigan, like she falls off a cliff.
That's probably, she would be deemed like an accidental death, probably. I would imagine.
No one would care about her though.
And also, yeah, no one would care.
Daughter Kerrigan.
And who knows what happened to Dibs? I mean,
he got punched out that window. That'd be great if he was a ghost then too.
To me, if you don't see an on-screen death, they didn't die.
Well, the reason why he didn't become a ghost because he didn't have what you call it, unfinished business. Yeah, he had nothing.
I wonder what the ghostly trio's unfinished business is.
I want to know everything about these guys and how come they're there and why they make no sense that they're there.
They make no sense. They're uncles. I don't know.
It's just funny. It's a cartoon brought to life, and you're supposed to just have fun.
Yeah.
With it.
I mean, no,
and
like,
it was
a great,
great visual as us for kids see a cartoon come to life. That's really what
yeah. I love at the end.
I felt that way about Flintstones though too as a kid. That movie makes no sense and it's awesome.
Oh my
and
God,
I loved it. And people think, and I know adults that like really just they just loathe every second of that movie because that was like their childhood.
I mean, I think like maybe my parents don't get it as much. Even like the Scooby-Doo movies, like they don't get it as much as I do. Actually, they grew up with
I know adults who like that movie because Matthew Lillard was so good as Shaggy that they actually bought that. But yeah, I didn't care for it that much, but I thought it was okay.
I mean, I grew up like my mom is a huge Scooby-Doo fan. Grew up watching Scooby-Doo, and I love those movies because, like, I don't know, I might
have to watch that soon.
Bringing
that was
that
a good
like
one.
It was. I don't know. Maybe we can do it soon.
Maybe.
I
just didn't like the ending of that movie, but like throughout the trying to bring it to life, I thought it was okay. It's pretty okay.
Because I like that. I like trying to bring things to reality where I feel like that.
How would it look? How would it feel? What would the tone be like?
That older generation likes to keep those things not in reality and likes to keep them in fantasy.
And I'm the kind of guy, you know me, like I've always wanted to take my fondest childhood things and see how they would be looked at as a fantasy realistic way. I think that's what a lot of us kind of dream, and that's what movies are for. You know, or TV shows now, like they can really do that, and it's really exciting. So
that's why I like
now they can do so much
comic books, like these comic books.
I'm still waiting on a well done live action Mario. They're not going to do it, but
I was going to say you're not going to
animated one, which I'm still excited for. But I'm not. My hopes are pretty low in standards right now.
I mean, you got a good Mario. You don't like the John Leguizamo and
I watch that movie constantly because it's,
it's so
just
good.
connected to what I loved. I don't care. I'm like, that's Mario in real life. I have to watch it.
You don't like that movie though? You don't think it's good?
Because I own it on DVD.
I love it, and it's like I remember as a kid watching it all the time.
I think we found our next movie then. All right.
No,
sounds
we need
good.
to do another Halloween movie. No,
but in our future, in our future, soon to be future. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I love it.
But yeah, okay. So we talked about pretty much story wise, plot holes,
yes,
rules breaking, whatever. The biggest thing that I have to hold so heartedly, it's the score. The score is just ridiculous.
I love the
yeah, that's the
oh
theme.
my god, that like music box.
It's such a well-written theme for such a kind of a not so important kind of movie, you know. That's a kind of score you would hear in like some big Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah.
It's
no,
like,
I don't.
Or something more iconic. But I was trying to.
It's at the end of the day, this movie is a comedy. So like to hear something like that is, you wouldn't expect it to hear it in something like this.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Well, there's the Halloween theme. It goes, and there's some little interval notes going on there that actually I could be wrong. But I was doing it the other day. I'm like, that kind of has the exact same kind of feel interval. I wonder if that was any inspiration to make it like that. I don't know. I probably not. It's just probably a coincidence, but it's just cool. It's just good writing.
Need to do. You need to sit down and record what you're like, what's in your brain, so that we can hear it. Because I'm not a musician, so I don't hear it.
I have to go get my guitar over there, and I'll feel like
no, not right now.
Oh, you know what I could do is hang tight 1 second.
I love how you just like lean over and you have a keyboard.
Not exactly, but
I don't know if we'll be able to hear it though. You have to put your mic near it.
I'm gonna try. So what I'll do is, this is an experiment, but I think it'll work. Yeah, sure, why not? So I have my piano here on my. Can you hear that?
I heard it.
So it does like.
I can hear it. It's very faint, but I can hear it.
Yeah. Hold on, let me just. Sorry, don't hear those ones, but it's like. Sorry. Up. Something like that. So there's those intervals there that goes like, and then.
Oh.
So that's what I hear, because that's the same interval as Halloween. So my mind goes there right away. Whether it's inspiration or not, it's got that creepy but kind of somber tone to it in writing. No idea. It could be coincidence, but if it's inspiration, how cool is that? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's really cool.
Did I just blow your mind with that?
I mean, you did, because I never would have heard that on my own. But now that
I'm like I said, I write and listen to music, and I understand a lot of these kind of things because that's how I've been trained and learn how to learn music quickly. So, but the theme is so iconic because it just has that beautiful like just. It's such a great line, but just. I would listen to the score on my own. Like, I just want to feel like a certain way. I want to feel nostalgic. I'll throw the Casper theme song on. I'll just close my eyes and listen to it. And it just gives me so much imagery and reminds me of Halloween and my family. All the feelings. It's so emotional to me. Even though I talk about it, it gets me all kind of worked up because I love it so much. There's a part in that score. I'm sorry, go ahead. But there's a part.
No, I was gonna say when I was watching it, it was making me emotional because it's just like
it's definitely the ending between the 3 times you really hear it. I mean, you hear it a 4th time, it's subtle, but then ends up ending with the joke with Fatso kissing the dad. But the first time you hear is when Kat's talking about her mom, which is really emotional. It's really sweet.
Yes.
And then Casper's listening to her. Like, there's so many great, like, heartfelt moments in this movie, though, too. Don't get me wrong. Is it the best movie in the world? And does it make a lot of no sense and silly and stupid? Yeah, it's a kid's movie, but there's so many other great things about it.
There's so
the
many
stuff that's great about it is really great. It's so good. It's so yeah. And then like same thing, the grieving parts that Casper coming to his memory, grieving himself, I guess. I don't even know how you call it, what you would call that, but you know, how he died, and then you hear that theme and it's just so perfect. And and his face just being just so well I guess animated, yeah, or just how that's captured. And then the ending, you see it again with the mom. Oh, actually, sorry, too. The mom with Casper, and then again with the mom with the dad.
Oh yeah, I love that when he's throwing the baseball and she comes through.
That whole score like, though, when she's floating in and floating out.
Yeah. Oh my god, beautiful.
So good.
Yeah.
Even like the silly score stuff is great. And in the kitchen. I didn't mention the kitchen scene. It's amazing.
This is one of my favorite
so good. In the movie. Yeah, it's so well made, and like that, you could tell they spent so much time just getting that kitchen scene right.
Oh yeah,
animation and the live action connection. But like when there's that cool like da 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 whatever when their hands go together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so well shot. It's like that's a real ghost. Like, I don't know. I
will you hurt me? Will I hurt you? It's like I love it.
It's so good. Good stuff. I don't know, but I just relate to this movie. There's a lot of heart in the movie there.
There's so much heart in this movie.
A certain part in the score, I said, where like it's during that whole beginning of the Casper scene. Oh wait, before I go into that, tying into, so I think it's called what's the name of this? It's like what's the Castor Fate. No. What's the name of this song? There's a specific name for the Casper theme song because he used it again, James Horner, in a movie called The Chronicles of Riddick. And not too many.
I have no idea what you're talking
about. There's a movie called, and it's with Freddie Highmore's in it, I believe, from Norman Bates and The Good Doctor. I'm sorry. What did I say? The Chronicles of Riddick? I mean, the Spiders. Oh my God. Spiderwick Chronicles. I said it backwards. I don't know what I said. I'm thinking Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're thinking of a Vin
Spiderwick Chronicles. I'm sorry. My brain is a mess. Do you remember that at all?
No, I don't think I've ever seen it.
There was a book and they made it into yeah, they made it into a movie. I never saw the movie. I'm trying to bring this up. It's hard to see, but there we go. Does that look familiar at all? And there's like these little.
He's like a baby guys. There.
Oh yeah. It's like his first movie ever.
Yeah.
But they used that theme into that movie, and you hear at the end of the movie, you hear. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, is it the same composer?
I'm just like those ripoffs. It was because James Horner just recycled his own music, so.
No.
Can't blame the guy. It's a hit song. I'm gonna reuse it when I have to. Years later, it'd be like no one's gonna know the difference except people who grew up with that movie. So
yeah,
new kids, new generation hear my music. Might as well. Smart. It was like so I had to bring that up, but like there's a specific part in that theme in that song, and it's just like it just moves to a certain point. It like builds up, and I just like. I don't know. It's like one of the best writing I've ever heard in my life. It's so good. Every time I hear it, it blows me away.
It's surprising always when like a small movie, this isn't a small movie, but like.
Yeah. John Williams does the same thing. So it's like, I get that kind of like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Make magic happen.
It's nice to hear another composer that's like grandiose and doing stuff like that.
Well, thank you.
Should bring out your keyboard again. Play a little diddle as we sign off.
We should. Do I have it? Here we go.
Amazing.
That's Casper. I couldn't wait to talk about it. I think we did a lot.
I know.
We talked for a while about it. We did some other things too. We talked about a lot of other stuff, but I hit all the main parts. I don't think I left out anything.
Yeah, I mean,
all the problems, all the flaws, all the greatness. Watch it.
It's great.
It's a fun family Halloween movie. Goes over your head, but the thing about the movie, it's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be easy, and it's supposed to be no problem whatsoever. It's a piece of cake, piece of crumb cake.
I think luckily, because I did see that Freeform, which is what we know as ABC Family.
A little dog called Carrigan, a bitch just like you. I had to say that. Someone would get mad. Maybe I did mention that because as a kid, that also was just like,
yeah. I was like, oh,
little dog called Carrigan, a bitch. The bitch.
Oh yeah.
The Stretch says hell like 10 times and something like that. It's really funny to me. What the hell you think you're doing?
Yeah, I love how they censor hell nowadays. It's weird to me.
I mean, like, it's how you use it. If you're talking about the place, it's a little different than you saying, like, what the hell is that? It's a little different.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
Still talking about the same thing. I know.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot what I was going to say.
Supposed to say heck, but you're saying yes, but you got all the things you want to say? Yeah. What do you got?
I said next week, maybe we'll do another Halloween movie to close out October.
Yeah. I mean, we got, I think, possibly a movie about animated skeletons could be in our future. I don't know.
Oh,
do you want to do that one? I mean, there's so many. I mean, I thought other ones like Beetlejuice is a Halloween movie, sort of. It's just creepy, and Tim Burton is pretty much everything spooky and weird. But I mean, talk about real movies about Halloween, because Freeform has a lot of movies that are not about Halloween, and it's making me nuts right now. X-Men,
like Harry Potter.
I mean,
X-Men.
That I give you. It's witches and stuff. I'll give you that, and they do some Harry Halloween stuff in the movie. I'll give you that one. It's not really that, but I could see that. That's fine with me. No, they're just like let's watch. I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire is not a Halloween movie, but
they're playing Mrs. Doubtfire right now.
Oh yeah, and because some idiot on YouTube had cut up that trailer to make it seem like a scary movie, which is brilliant, and they're using that as the commercial right now, and it's like Mrs. Doubtfire. You ever see that? Where it's like,
I've seen it, but I didn't know they were using
mommy to die, and it's like creepy, and then it's just him going, and it's really weird. And
I've seen that, but like
they're doing that on Freeform. I'm PO'd about Freeform.
I don't have cable, so.
Freeform, it used to be ABC Family. It was so different. Now it's all junk how they redesigned that network. But I'm saying at least I get some of my favorite holiday movies on there somewhere, and I got to watch them that way. So whatever I can get, I take. But yeah, it's the rest of it's garbage. I definitely would check out. I mean, Hocus Pocus is on the list. I think you want to talk about like that. I'm not as familiar with that movie as probably you are. So.
Oh,
you would have to take the helmet. Casper's my life. So
Casper's my life.
I mean, I obsess over it my whole life. So I make a wish for you. Oh, we didn't talk about one more thing.
What?
The Little Richard version of Casper the Friendly Ghost as the outro.
Oh.
What? That's such a fun version of the song. It's great.
It really is. It is really good.
But it reminds me of the theater too, when it's just like you're waiting and it's like, okay, let's go home now. And it's like,
like the
credits roll. The end is spelled out for you.
Yeah.
Like,
oh wait, you know what I wanted to talk about too? This movie has no opening credits. Did you notice that?
Yes, it does. Well, not really.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, yes, because remember it goes and then Casper comes up on the screen.
No, it only has a title scroll. It doesn't have opening credits.
It does. It does little credits into that, and you're right. But then no actor credits, only directorial credits or whatever they call that.
It's so weird to me that it doesn't have
it's like a whatever film, credit. And then Casper, which is really well done how they shot that stuff. Really cool.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird. I didn't make notes, but in my head I made notes, and I was like, bring up the fact that it doesn't have like a full opening credit.
I hope it's on tonight. Maybe I could watch it if it's on again tonight. It's been on like every other night.
Right now.
It was on last night, so it's probably on sooner tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so glad they're still playing it.
I always get excited because it's like my body knows when it's on every like weekend. Like they start the freeform thing, the 30 nights of Halloween.
13 nights of Halloween, yeah.
Or whatever. Like my body feels it. I'm like, okay, it's Saturday morning. I got my breakfast. I'm like, is it on?
It's
boom, Casper.
Also,
and I'm like,
we didn't bring this up in the beginning. It is free. I rented it, but it's free to stream on Freeform if you have the Freeform app on any of your streaming devices.
Or you could just go to on demand as well, which is what I did.
What do you mean the on demand?
So like if you have Fios, like I do, go to the Freeform, or type in Casper on demand.
It goes free? To Freeform. No commercials. Yeah.
No commercial. Oh no, there's commercials, but that's fine.
Oh well, yeah, that's the same with the Freeform app.
But it would be the same if on Freeform app. It's the same thing. Yeah. So you watch on demand on the app, or you can watch for free if you have any of those that access.
True. But that's it.
Or just throw in the VHS.
I know. I was gonna say that. I was like, oh, if you have the VHS, throw it in. But that's it for Brewsic and Boozies. We'll see you next week.
I hope so. If not, very soon though. Yeah, I think next week we should be good.
We have to do another Halloween episode. It has to happen.
Oh, we will. We definitely will before Halloween ends. That's for sure. I'll make sure we get one more in.
Well, Halloween is almost in 1 week, so.
Because if we don't, it'd be a bummer, and then I'd be going, and you'd be saying to me, "Boo,
boo." Okay. Bye, everyone.
Peace out.
See you next week. Oh no, I can't I can't hit the button with my light. Bye.